All right, I think we're good. We're live. There it is. I was like, it's too dark. That's 6? We got 6 people. See, this is what happens when we start. We're learning. Hi, everybody. Everybody say hello over here. Let us know who's here, how you're here. Do I have coffee or Coke? What am I looking at?
Well, this is coffee. We have Coke and we have water. Coca-Cola.
My cup runneth over. So how's everybody doing today? Let us know over here in the comments. We are live, right?
We are live, right?
I think so.
Can you hear us?
I mean, let's be honest. We never really know. Christy got in first. Hello. What? Rain. She's perfect. We are so in love. Congratulations. Congrats. That's amazing. Cheers from us. Cheers.
Oh, that's really exciting.
All right, everybody. It is a good day. Yeah.
And we got a good little episode to talk about.
I think. We're pretty stoked about it. If you saw the title, a lot of you, I mean, everybody who's here right now live has been here for a long time. And so, nearly a year ago now.
I know, right? That's crazy.
We were in Austin.
Come March, the end of March.
Yeah. But I'm saying we were when we made this video.
Oh, yes. So I think we're like 9 months from when we predicted this.
Yeah. Which is right on time. Yes, we talked about dating in 2020, dating during the pandemic and what that was going to look like, what that was going to be like.
The future of dating.
The future of dating, the new normal, as that buzzword caught on. And apparently we were right. And I'm excited to hear,
Boom.
I'm really excited to hear y'all's opinions in the comments and in the comments below. If you're watching this when it's not live anymore, I want to know your opinions on whether or not we were right about that. If you need to watch that video, it's 212. We'll pop it up here in the corner. But
let's recap.
Yes, let's recap.
Pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, a lot of the complaints were, doing 1,000 swipes a day.
Yes. Tired fingers. That was a big problem for a lot of people.
Tired and calloused fingers. Yeah. And that people just felt like they were just, a profile picture. And it was hard there was a lot of ghosting. I learned about these dating terms.
We learned a lot of dating terms.
You'd text on the app and then you wouldn't hear anything back, or you'd go on a date and they were quick to move on. It was hard to really match with people that you vibed with.
Yes.
There was just so many things. It felt like we're going on business interviews, 3 times a week. There was a lot of complaints, yeah. And when the pandemic happened, it put a halt to everything, because there was no more booty calls.
No more booty calls.
There should not have been.
Yeah.
And
there were no safe booty calls. Were there ever really safe booty calls?
That's true.
Be entirely, if we're just opening up the honesty train.
Oh yeah, that's true. And so we had to kind of rethink about things. So the video, and a couple of videos we talked about this.
Yes.
We had to be more particular about how we were spending our time. Our time became much more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't see each other in person. We had to be very particular about the kind of people we wanted to spend our time with. Were they quantity over quality, I guess, with these dates, right? Because it's very hard it's easy to go to a bar, get drunk, make out, but if you have to hold a conversation for 30 minutes on a FaceTime date.
Oh man. You got to really want to make out that person.
Yeah.
Eventually. You got to really continually want to make out with them.
Yeah.
Or, like them in general. I'm using make out as a general term.
Yeah.
But I think it's so cool that the articles that you're reading now line up with what we were saying. And one of the big things we were saying, yes, was quality over quantity, but talking about just the time that you take for yourself. Because obviously one thing that we all had a ton of time in 2020, most of us, unless you were an essential worker, in which case you had no time, and thank you so much. But most of us had so much time to learn about ourselves, to learn about our fears, to learn about what it was like to just do what we wanted to do, and
Right.
to know what that was, and maybe to take new business opportunities, or to work on new things. I mean, we started Part of Love in 2019.
But truly.
But then we got to really expand on it and try
Right.
so many different things. I mean, y'all, I remember part of the way through, we were at like a video a day.
Oh my gosh.
Like
yeah.
every
You were
day.
banging them out.
We were trying, but we've got a bunch of beautiful content up here. We've met all of you guys, and this community has grown so much. We're at over 1,200 people now, which is crazy. And it's also crazy to know that a year from now, we're going to look back and be like, 1,200. We thought 1,200
Right.
was a whole lot of people.
Look where we are now.
And it's such a crazy thing. But we all got to learn so much about ourselves, and that made us hopefully better going, especially into 2021, better at dating in the future. Because now, as we've talked about in other videos, when you know what you want, what you are willing to accept, and what you're not willing to accept, you have more options. You actually have more options right now. Because I know for me, I hated going to clubs and bars and those things. I never even really went to a club before you, but
well, in a way, I think the apps were meant to truly be helpful, right? Like people were busy and they were tired of doing that whole life where you go out and you try to meet somebody out, and like there's not a sign that you wear on your forehead that says, I like dogs and, coffee. And
unless you do, in which case you're probably not going to have the night that you expect.
Right.
Like it's going to be a strange one.
But like, it's hard to, I think the apps though really were meant to kind of filter out different types of people, filter in different types of people, I don't know, and match you in a right way.
Yeah.
But it just didn't really end up like that with a lot of apps. I think it became like who's posting the hottest photos and
how many blocks are they from here?
Right, exactly.
That was one thing when we were in the city. City always means New York City. If we say we were in the city, we're always talking about New York City. So we were in the city, and I remember some of our friends would be like, they'd be on the apps at the show, and you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm just looking for who I'm going to go on a date with tonight. They were like, he's hot, and he's on the Upper East Side. No thanks.
No thanks.
Oh,
that's crazy.
He's in Hell's Kitchen. And you're like, what is happening? That's how you got a date?
That's crazy.
I'll tell you what happened the old fashioned way. We used to go out to a bar and sit there and just make eyes for a long time, and then walk up and be like,
yeah. And then you like hoped they could speak. Yeah.
You just hoped. Yeah.
I guess when you look at it that way, it was the chances of meeting the right match that way is kind of low.
I mean, it's so, that's why I stand by it's so much easier to date in 2021.
Right. But I think we then started raising generations of daters that didn't know how to communicate anymore. So they relied on the filters to find the right person.
Okay.
For them.
Now, you guys remember the TV show Next? Because I feel like Next was the dating app before the dating app came out. It was speed dating.
It was harsh.
It was really harsh.
And like you'd have to look at this person and be like, next. And then it was on MTV, right?
Mm-hmm. They'd be walking, they'd get off the bus.
Yes.
And they'd be walking up to the person
harsh.
Sometimes, and they just shout from across the thing,
that
next.
Was harsh.
Which was awful, but also that person, whether for entertainment value or otherwise, like they knew what they wanted and they were letting it be known. My favorite, there's like 3 or 4 things that make me cry laughing. Like I will watch them over and over and over. One of them is the Family Guy bit that I showed to Ben and them. One of them is Beyonce Clown. If anybody here knows Beyonce Clown, one of the original YouTube videos. Oh, it's my favorite. It's a girl in a clown mask doing Single Ladies, and she's next to her TV and she goes, bah! And hits her head. And I lose my mind when I watch it. I can watch it on repeat. But most importantly, the first thing to ever do that was an episode of Next.
Really?
An episode of Next where, and I feel so bad, this girl is getting off the bus. And you know how you would get off the bus and it'd be like, and then it's like, Seth loves motorbikes and motocross and the word moto put into other things.
Right.
And then he would like walk down there and she'd be like, next. Well, this girl's getting off the bus. And as she's getting off, she slips and flies into she's like falling down the steps and they freeze frame. And she's like, and it's
I
like,
hope she didn't get
Jamie.
nexted right away.
I genuinely
Jamie a
don't
chance.
remember. I have no clue.
You got to give her a chance.
I feel like at that point you should have just been running up to him and been like,
Are you
okay? And I don't remember what happened, what the guy or the girl did, but they were like, I do believe she got nexted relatively quickly.
Right.
I think it was a very harsh situation of are you okay? Yes. Okay. Next. But oh my God, that show though, that was the original
swipe.
That was the original swipe. That was the original like social speed dating, like letting that out there. I don't think I ever did a speed dating thing.
I mean, I didn't either. I thought it was like a thing of like the 80s, 90s, but apparently it is back. Because I have two friends that did it pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic, and they had some very funny stories. It's
in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, I guess they didn't necessarily romantically vibe with someone, but the three of them became friends with one of the guys, and then they went to a bar afterwards and had a great night.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay, so right there, though, that's why. So that example of speed dating is exactly why I love dating, and that's why the thumbnail for this is like date. Because y'all, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Do not just lock yourself down to one person who does not make you happy. Learn what they taught you, and then get the fuck out and go forward.
Well, I think there's a level of honesty that, again, in 2020, we had to really learn about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You had a lot of time to be with yourself. And we realized that like our time is a little more precious. So like, why waste it not being honest with yourself and others, right? So some of the articles I was reading were like, people are having much more successful dates on these apps via Zoom because they're actually being more honest in their profiles. Because
they actually know themselves.
Yeah, like there is absolutely nothing wrong if you feel like banging in your bikini and you want to post those photos. Great, but maybe the app is not the thing that you only post bikini photos in. And also, if you need to post a bikini photo on the app. And again, it's like, well, what are you saying? Maybe let's say a mixture of things, Yeah. Because if
I love posting a bikini, well, not a bikini photo. I haven't posted a bikini photo yet.
Right. You haven't. But
specifically. But I do love posting. I love my body. I work hard on my body. I feel sexy. And sometimes you see a picture and you're like, oh shit, that's hot. Like I want to share that. But also there was a time where I was posting nothing but those things to draw people in, and then wondering why they had no interest in my poetry.
Exactly. But that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes,
here. It's
of course.
I think there needs to be a well-rounded mixture so we can get a good idea of who you are. Like anyone who knows you knows that you, like to write poetry. You love, to work out or be physical. You love your dogs. You like to bartend. You like to eat a lot.
I like my wife.
But your photos should reflect that, not just, your hot abs.
Yeah. Well, thank you. First off. But yes, I agree. I think that I'm guessing that the point that you're getting to is that don't go on a dating app and post only one part of yourself to try and draw people in and then be like, well, they just weren't what I wanted. I keep attracting these assholes. And you're like, well, what was it that you were pitching? Because again, or accepting those things.
Exactly. But maybe pay attention to, well, you kind of are, we all are pitching ourselves to an extent, whether it's, I hate to say, whether it's job or just making a new friend, you are presenting an idea of yourself. And how do you do that well? We sort of have to step outside of ourselves and look at what I'm presenting.
And more importantly, how do you do that well for yourself?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that I think a lot of times, we tend to, so it's coffee and Coke. I'm sorry.
Separately.
Both together, separately. It's a whole thing. I think that a lot of times we present ourselves. I think that is the wrong way to look at it. I think that is the way that we tend to look at it.
Okay.
And I think that it's wrong because I think that when we look at it as if we're presenting ourselves, it's that we're presenting ourselves to ask for validation by them buying into whatever that is.
Oh.
I think that if you do that, then you're going about it the wrong way, as opposed to existing and just not presenting yourself, but just existing in each situation, in each thing. And I think that's kind of more of what you mean.
Presenting, I think, is the wrong word. The wrong word. But to
No,
maybe
the
have the wrong word. But to maybe
presenting is the wrong word.
I'll say though, at every moment we're always witnessing each other. So maybe like witnessing how you exist.
Come on, somebody.
The way you know, I have to like, we're always observing each other, right? So like I'm witnessing how you are just walking around in the world, and I'm formulating an opinion about that.
Yes, and how you. But we've talked about this a lot, which is the reason I loved going on dates, and even still love going on dates and still love existing in the world with you, is because I love watching how you interact with people, and then talking to you about like, why do you do that? Like, why do you? And that's something that y'all, 11 years in, we are still doing, where I will be overly like indulgent to someone in an elevator and be like, oh no, blah, 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 let's talk about your whole life. And then she's like, why did you do that? Like, I don't know. I just felt guilty and I felt bad and I felt like I needed to get them to like, oh, I see what you're saying. I can just sit there silently and it's okay. Or you could just like, it doesn't have to be all or nothing, and you don't have to make everybody like you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that you do this for validation. I'm just saying like to meet a match that.
But I think that a lot of people do. I think a lot of, I know I see what you're saying. I still unintentionally do. We both do sometimes. We find ourselves in situations where we're trying to earn validation by presenting ourselves and going, I may not like you, but you should definitely like me because I'm pretty like, check this thing out. And I think that's a huge mistake, because that means that you don't actually like that thing about yourself, because the things that you like about yourself, you don't present to anybody. The things that you believe in about yourself, you don't present those. You just are those things, and you don't need their validation from that, because you feel full up. Your battery is set. And when we're going into these dating situations, I think that we have more of an opportunity to not present ourselves, but to sit in that and just exist with these people and see what that brings out. Because what I presented to you was not true.
Yes, because not you 100%. Thought you were trying to fill a hole that you thought I wanted filled.
Hey.
Oh, that sounds very terrible.
No.
Whoa.
Keep going down that road. That was not the hole she wanted filled.
I always find myself saying the worst.
The dirtiest shit.
I don't that. Okay, scratch.
That right there. That's why if you look at the specs when I'm putting up videos, it says, "Is this video made for kids?" I'm like, "No, it is not made for kids." Very specifically, it's not made for kids.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know that.
You guys didn't mean it like that. Okay. Let's go to the comments. There's a lot of comments.
No, I like this. Oh,
okay, well, we don't have to.
We can't. No, I want to. I'm just saying, like,
one thing I was gonna say too is like, I think, and I was reading some of the articles, and I think this is better because we've learned more about ourselves. We've become a little better about communicating, right? Because we have to have these dates on Zoom. Thank you.
Wow.
And so I've never used a dating app like.
Not yourself.
Not for myself, but apparently you can, like, you know, in the chat, you go back and forth for a while. And like a lot of people would be like, what are you doing this weekend? And you're like, watching TV. and then you don't get much of a response, but people are learning to share more of themselves and to be like, you know what, actually I'm making a bomb ass, you know, a lasagna tonight and binging this on Netflix and spending time with my dog. And it spurs genuine conversation. And then when you go on your Zoom date later that night, you're like, see this and blah, blah, blah. Now we have conversation. Yeah. Whereas before it was just like, you know, want to get fucked up, want to go make out, want to go do,
You up?
You up? Like, I don't know. I
The
feel like
original
people
Netflix
are
and chill.
communicating
You
better.
up? Yes, I agree. And I think that there's a bunch of reasons for it. And I don't think that the least of which is the fact that because of the pandemic and because of whether it's Zoom calls or the explosion of podcasts and lives like this and those things, like this wasn't originally a concept that we had for Part of Love, but over the course of, well, it was Nicole and John that told us that we should start doing these lives or the game nights and those things and getting into that mindset. But the refinery came out of, this, there's so many, I mean, how many people here don't have a friend who has a podcast? Raise your hand. Don't worry. I'll wait.
Right.
Like we'll all know somebody has like everybody knows somebody who has a podcast, or like Brandon who has like 17 different podcasts and shows that he's a part of.
I think we're realizing that we all have something to say. We all have more to say. And now we're starting to give each other.
We're learning how to say it. We're giving permission.
Permission.
Hey.
Permission's one of my favorite words, but I think we're giving each other permission. We're giving ourselves permission to speak and to share these thoughts and ideas and have the confidence to be like, you know what? I have something to say.
I totally agree.
I want to share this. And I think just a platform like this where we can go back and forth too is so awesome.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of, we will now go to the comments. I usually like to wait for the first like 20 to 30 minutes, especially if we're in like a good groove.
Totally.
Like, all right, here we go.
I got embarrassed because I was talking about inappropriate things. And then
you were just talking about filling holes. Girl. All right. First off, if you just popped in, Christy has a granddaughter named Rain, born happy, healthy, and whole. Everybody, I think, has already given congratulations. But if you're new here, congratulations, Christy, and congratulations, Rain.
So great.
Welcome to the world. It's a fun place. Get ready.
So great.
Courtney Kennedy, hi. I am very tired today. Online, and my tutor fetched his daughter on today. She was being noisy. Overall, though, very good. Okay, cool. Megan, congratulations, Christy. Mel, evening, campers. All right, Mel, evening wherever you are. What are you drinking? Even if it's water. We always play What's Everybody Drinking. We kind of just threw it out today. We have Coca-Cola, we have coffee, and water.
Anything, caffeine and water. That's the gem.
So everybody hit us up. Megan, I was an essential worker packing Gatorade at a warehouse. Made an excuse to fire me. Next was a funny show at times. Okay. So sorry that you lost your job. And yes, next was a really funny show at times. And sometimes it just made you really angry. And sometimes it made you sad.
Cringeworthy. I think now looking back, I'm like, how did we watch this?
To be fair, next, okay, ready for this? Next was the original The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
Yes.
It was short form. It was the TikTok.
They'd go on a quick little date.
It was TikTok to YouTube, as it were.
Yeah.
Even though TikTok came after, I know. Next was the original The Bachelor. It was like, and they would hang out on the bus, and that was the weirdest part. They'd show, and it was always I don't know if the girls were like weird, but the guys were always weird in that bus because they were
always
like, yo, what's up?
Skeevy and gross.
You know, like you got your Jinkos,
but like that,
your Ed Hardy shirt.
That's what taught us to communicate and told us that's what you're supposed to do on a date. That's how you're supposed to act. And then we wonder why we went on so many horrible dates.
So if you see shit like that
20s,
and you don't like it, you're not wrong. Don't do that. I remember when I met you, I was most of the time in my like white t-shirt, jeans, boots,
right,
and my jacket. Like that was my kind of uniform, and that was the most me I could be. It was that was the most genuine me I could be. But then sometimes I would come in, and granted, it was a version in my head of myself. But I'd come in a suit and a camel hair coat. That's right, to a Broadway show, not for an opening night, just for Thursday.
For funsies.
Yeah, and I'd be like, cool. Well, I want to do this. And though it did show something about me, you would sometimes be like, since then, every time we see a camel hair coat, you're like, oh, do you want that? I know you like that. And I was like, I kind of It's like a once in a while thing.
Right.
But again, I was presenting something to you to try to impress you, to be like, oh, he's weird. And I thought that could draw you in.
It kind of did.
Okay, that's not a great advertisement then. Be yourselves. Congratulations, Christy. Fachette, give me the smileys. LOL. One guy tried to pimp walk off the bus and fell. Is that him? It was a guy? I thought it was a girl. Did a girl fall too?
There probably was multiple though.
I'm sure multiple people
steps
fell.
Were really steep.
Wait, when he fell, did they freeze frame on it, Megan? Let me know. All right, everybody's laughing because it is hilarious. What about that show where the parents, I remember this, would pick the dates for their already taken kids, and they all had to watch the dates as they happened, and the boyfriend or girlfriend would get all pissy.
That was horrible. And they were talking, like, they were horrible to these other, like, teenagers or people in their early 20s. Like, first of all, it's a horrible thing to do. And they were talking about how much they hated the boyfriend or girlfriend they were with. But
next to them.
Yeah, literally next to, they were sitting on the same couch.
I mean, I think that reinforced a lot of really negative stereotypes. And that's where entertainment has to really be careful, because in the same time that we were saying just now, like, well, you watch those things and you thought, oh, well, is that what I'm supposed to do? Because this douchebag just went on a date with this seemingly hot girl that I also am not very interested in, but it doesn't matter because we're putting out that these things are important. But then you got shows like this that are reinforcing the stereotypes of the angry dad and the blah blah blah, and
it also
now if the boyfriend sucked, or the girlfriend sucked and they were mean, awful people, that's different. But also, I guess it wouldn't have been as entertaining for MTV to have a show where the parents sat down with the kids and said, "Hey, these are the reasons that we disagree with this relationship. It's your lives, so you do what you want." But just knowing that you've done these things in this way has made us feel a certain way with regards to, like, obviously
it's not exciting TV to do it that way.
Whatever.
But man, I really think it desensitized us.
Of course it did.
That's crazy. That's horrible to do to somebody.
It's like what Chris Rock was talking about in the special. It's about porn. Like, desensitizes you when you watch too much bad dating, which is why I have a huge problem with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. It's very strange to me that show is still going. Now I'm gonna rail real quick. Why is it okay for it's one thing when I can say, and this is not just because we did it, but yes, I have made out with more than one person in one night. You have made out with more than one person in one night. That's it. That's fine. No, I'm just saying it's true, right?
Yeah, it's true.
However, on the other side of that is what I see on The Bachelor, where they make out with more than one person while there's also 18 other ones living there. And
while
then
they're claiming they're falling in love.
And they're claiming they're falling in love, and they continue doing it, but all in such a, and then they're with each other.
Yep.
And you don't.
Yep. I will, someone explain it to us, because I also don't. I don't
understand. I guess
is
it's,
it fascinating
again, cringeworthy.
to watch?
But don't you get mad don't you get mad? I mean, I feel like looking at that, I can't look at that and go, huh, they're probably the real in love ones.
Right.
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I'm just getting emails. Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. Well, that's some good news.
Dig it.
Cool.
So sorry. I'll be right back.
Exactly what, but
it's a good thing.
I think you guys can see my face still.
Oh, can you?
I don't know if you can or not. Maybe not. Wow. My back is really hurting me. Yeah, but someone explained to me about The Bachelor, and like, do you believe it's true? Like, can we really trust that they're falling in love? They could probably be falling in lust and starting to fall for each other. But then if you're falling for somebody, it's hard to fall equally for that many people. So it's like, are they real emotions? Is this normal? Like, I just don't understand it.
I don't understand when watching it. It was kind of like the, what was it? Blind Love, Blind Date.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
That was a weird one.
That was so fucking weird. We did a reaction video to that, and then
we never put it up.
It was because we were so mean. It started, and we were like, "Fuck these people. This is gross."
We kept being like, "Fuck that, fuck that."
It was just, it was the worst.
How can you take this seriously? I don't know. It just does not.
Someone please explain.
Normal.
But regardless regardless of even the bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. Obviously it's for entertainment value,
Of course.
but when we put it out there that this is how you find love, which is hard, because I get it. We're saying date around. What we're not saying is find a pool of people, put them in a house, cause some drama.
Yeah.
Date all of them. You're the only one. Date all of them and tell them all you're falling in love with them, even though at the end of it, you're going to have told this person, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I just feel I don't know what's going to happen. I love you. I don't know what's going to happen. And then standing on the altar, you go,
it's horrible.
That's so fucked up.
Also,
sociopathic
let's just talk
fucking
about
bullshit.
These reality shows, right? You get put up in a mansion, you get a new wardrobe, you get a free, $90,000 diamond to give to whomever you'd like. All the women or men, everyone gets a new wardrobe. You don't have to worry about being tired for work because you've already cleared it with your work that you're going on television for 3 months. You don't have to worry about anything that happens in life. So it's just like, well, how do I know that I like you in real life? Like, how do I know I like you when you're annoyed because, your boss said this and you're worried about, paying rent or you're, got the flu and you're puking out? Like, how do you know?
Yeah.
You just don't know.
How do you know that living in an apartment that is not a mansion,
right,
that maybe has carpet, is something that's going to set one of you off or both of you off? Like, just knowing those little things. What kind of food do you like to eat when it's not prepared by the chef?
When you don't get filet mignon every night and the lobster dinner that they put outside with the candles that you didn't have to cook. How do you know? It's
room service 24/7 on that show. It's not real.
How do you know if one of you just doesn't clean up anything because you have a maid right now? Like,
it's very strange.
It's funny. Like, they must look at each other when they get off the show and they're like, great, we're married now.
Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Colt. I do enjoy long walks on the beach. I don't live near a beach.
Right.
It's just such bullshit. I just think we're selling them on the wrong thing. That's why we started Part of Love. We were so tired of seeing these bullshit relationships, whether it was on those shows or on just shows in general. Just the way that love is being presented is not true. And it kills me. Absolutely kills me. I did read a really cute article the other day, and then we'll go back to the comments because I see everyone's favorite John Severson posted something. So I can't wait to see what that is.
What is it?
It's always a classic. Coca classic. There was, what was I saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, we were just making fun of people on The Bachelor.
Oh, yes.
Bachelorette.
No, there was something specific. There was a show or a reference or I don't know. But either way, let's go back to the comments. All right, Megan, what about the show? Oh, that was that. Wow, we got a lot of comments on here today, y'all.
This topic specifically, I think is like an interesting one.
Fichette, I had so many trust issues with my body because I have a rare skin condition. I have a lot of moles and signs on the body. I would never post one because I would certainly receive negativity. Oh, okay. First off, fuck anybody who is out there posting negative shit about anything that you choose to do. If you stand by it, fuck it. Because they inevitably, unfortunately, no matter what you post, whether it is about love, whether it is about like goodness and light and your body, get the fucking Lizzo for being a big girl in the first place, and then for losing weight, she got backlash.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? It's any negative feedback you get back is honestly someone else having a problem with themselves, but taking it out on you.
And also, there's a lot of things that if you find them beautiful, if the people you love find them beautiful, that's all. That's all it is. It's fine. It's you finding something about yourself and going, all right, well, this is me and I love this, or however you want to, deal with it. And then you go from there and you go, okay, cool. If somebody's going to knock that, go fuck them.
Right.
Fuck them. They suck. Don't worry about them. You're beautiful. Come on now.
Come on.
Courtney. Yes, totally agree. Being honest really helps in a relationship. Yes, it is. John, perhaps another approach is less so about presenting yourself, but approaching every day like it's an audition for your life.
You know, John?
I'm not going to lie to you. That's actually not the worst thing I've ever heard.
We just have to know that we are casting your authentic self.
I mean,
I know that you wanted that to be funnier, John, but I actually do like that.
I like it. I like it a lot. You are auditioning for the rest of your life. So present. I think that's a really, well, maybe intentionally. It's John, so you can never tell. His tone, much like mine, could be incredibly sarcastic or incredibly honest, and it's going to sound exactly the same. So, especially through here where tone doesn't exist. But yeah, it's an audition for the rest of your life. So I think that changes it from it's an audition for right now. Like, hey, you want to go have sex? Cool. Like that's the right now. Or like, hey, you want to date? Hey, you want to do these things? But for the rest of your life, are you presenting the truth of yourself as best you can? I just heard something the other day that I was talking to you about. 99% of the choices that we make in our day-to-day life are unconscious decisions. Only 1%, apparently, from a clinical standpoint, is actually conscious, like you thinking, I do this because I'm thinking of this. Like I do this because this is the person I want to put forward. So remember that 99% of it is what's just kind of built in. So that 1% really matters. So really when you get that, like that question of, why am I doing this? Why do I respond this way? Why am I going to respond this way? When you get that opportunity, take it. Take that opportunity. That's the wrong way to say that, Ange. Agreed. Was that when you were saying you were looking for someone to fill a hole, but not that hole?
Thanks, Megan.
Just want to make sure. Thanks. Courtney, oh, by the way, my boyfriend sorted out his problem. He listened to what she had to say. They both came to the agreement that they could be friends. Great. Nice. Vikia, Fichette, embrace your moles. Don't be ashamed. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I like that. Get him, Mom. Thank you, Vicky. Born with it, so it's part of me. That's right. Thank you, everyone. Mel, we are who we are, beautiful inside and out. And what you see is what you get.
Yeah, Mama.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mama.
And knowing more about who you want to be, the more we explore that, and not just accepting that there's the flip sides of these coins, right? We have to accept where we are, but accept that doesn't have to be where we stay. But there are certain things about us, that we learn that, like, I know certain things about myself, but I love those things, but I also know there's things to improve, to work on, to move forward. So don't forget those things. Don't forget that just because I remember at a certain point in our relationship, I got really happy and comfortable, and I was like, nailed it, done. And then I stopped working, and then things started to get uncomfortable, and not in a good way.
You know, it's so funny. If I can hijack this really quick.
Please do.
I had a really wonderful conversation with my therapist the other day, and she was talking about how when you're laying on the couch, right, and you're like, oh, gonna get the perfect snuggle with the pillow and the blanket and the dog and the perfect angle, and you find that spot, and you're like, oh, I want to just stay here forever. Nobody move. But then something in you is like, no, I have to move. Like whether it's your joints or something, like something changes.
You're like, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
But it also hurts.
But then it's like not good anymore.
Yeah.
And then you have to find a different way to get comfortable. So we move and we change and we shift. That is literally life, right? Like that's the best way to do it. So like you'll get comfortable for a second, but you have to be open to the mindset of like, we are always changing and growing and shifting and getting re-comfortable. And you have every right to get more comfortable and more comfortable as you change and shift and grow, but go with that feeling. Like know that it's not stagnant.
Fuck.
I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool conversation to think about.
I absolutely love
something
that.
Simple as just like getting that right snuggle on.
It's just about that right snuggle. All right. Chet, no, wait, we were already past there. I'm drinking hot chocolate. And enjoying the snow. Christy.
Oh, nice.
It's snowy where you are. Mel, drinking cherry Coke. Okay. Everybody put down, hands down, pencils down. Cherry Coke Zero.
Cherry Coke Zero.
My God.
He's obsessed. And it's like he won the lottery when he goes into a gas station or a TJ Maxx or anywhere that he'll find a Cherry Coke Zero. And he never buys them like in cases. He has to just find a single one. And it's apparently rare, I've found, to find one. And when he finds one, it's like
it's the best. I would bathe in it if it wouldn't eat my skin away, I assume.
Well, the aspartame is probably not good for you.
Yeah, but it's very, very good. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. That's how much I like it.
Friends.
All right.
Here we go.
Megan is drinking water. Fichet coffee. Come on now. I don't know how you do it. Did you grow the beans?
She probably did.
I assume.
Roasted them in cinnamon and nutmeg.
Come on. T-Von, in my opinion, when in a relationship, honesty is always key for me. And as for the beauty, we are all beautiful inside. Don't let anyone tell you any different. That is right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think they freeze framed when he fell. Yes. Okay, cool. Gotta go. Okay. Bye, Megan.
Bye.
Proud to say I've never watched one episode of The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. Good on you.
It's funny though. It's actually interesting to watch. Like, don't get addicted to it because I think it's kind of crap in the end. But like, I was fascinated. I think I've only watched like 2 or 3 episodes in my life too. But like, it's just fascinating.
What's interesting to me is I have been around multiple groups of men and women, but that romanticize it. They watch it as a group, and most of it's for like
believe in
the cattiness. But then when something beautiful happens, everybody goes, "Oh, that's what I want."
And they fight for these couples. Like the camaraderie really is there when they get together and have the bachelor nights or the bachelorette nights.
That always throws me because I'm like, whoa. If you're watching it like we're watching New Jersey Housewives and going, oh, I mean, or like, I feel like nobody watched I Love New York and was like,
remember that show?
Yes, I remember that show.
Wow, she was Flava Flav and all his ladies.
But I felt like nobody watched those shows, and because there was, and I mean, because Flava Flav is so crazy in the first place, and because it's not presented as like looking for this true. It's clearly in a certain way entertainment. And New York is. I think she wanted love though. I don't think Flava Flav did.
New York wanted love.
I think she wanted some love. She is a crazy chick, and I dig it. I dig it, or I dug it. I don't know what she's up to. Please don't. I don't know. The thing is, though, the way that I see people go, oh, that's what I want, blows my mind when we're watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, because this is clearly also for entertainment.
Right.
He just cheated on this girl with this girl and this girl.
But we're okay with it.
And we're okay with it because we're getting entertainment. But then he proposes to this one, and because he sheds a tear because they rubbed a tear stick under his eye. Right. He's suddenly romantic. And you're like, wait a second. We know. Like, it's just I don't
Rough.
Christy, The Bachelorette and The Bachelor is like romantic comedy that's not real life. Yes, we have a friend over for dinner each week to get some laughs. See, that's what I'm talking. Get the laughs. If you enjoy it
that way, more power to you. Because it is funny.
It's hilarious.
And it's again fascinating to watch the train wreck happen.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help that we have a love channel that we're devoting everything to. And then we watch and we're like, no. Oh my God. Really, we should be watching it for research and bringing you recaps of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and all the things that are wrong with it.
Ooh, that's a fun idea.
Every week. Okay. I don't know. We'll see if we can find something to do that with. You said you read an article today. Oh my God. Well, the article was about.
Oh, it was from Vogue, actually.
And it was about, we'll link it below. I can put the link below.
It was a Vogue article just about in 2021, how we're becoming better daters, and the dating scene is just so much better because we know about ourselves now. I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but we were just saying like,
the thing that we talked about in March of 2020, right before the pandemic really took off, we were talking about how because of, dating in quarantine, dating in the new normal, all those things, we posted a couple of videos in those first months saying, look, dating can get so much better because of where we are, because of this situation. And she happened to find this article today that was a very popular article from Vogue that just said, look, in a recent study or, census, as it were, taken
from a bunch of different dating apps. They were like overall the customers, as it were, like all of us are they're happier because they're finding better connections. And nothing changed about the apps other than the fact that they were saying their profiles are more honest. They're more honest in their chats. They're looking for different qualities in people. They're looking for like maybe more quality relationships over that quick date, that quick hookup.
We're just saying we were totally right. And we're just very excited about that because that means that people in general took the opportunity that they had. They took the opportunity to be the better version of themselves. They took the opportunity to learn and to listen. And now they're taking the opportunity to go out into the world and say, hey, not presenting this is who I am, but going out in the world as themselves, just then meeting people going yay or nay, or however you say it.
Because if you are presenting an authentic self and they're presenting an authentic self, it saves a lot of time and heartache, right? Because then you can just see, oh, we're not a match. That's okay though. We don't need to be, but let me go find where my person's at.
And this throws us back to the stop playing games, stop playing these dating games. They're not helping anybody unless you both know expressly, portraits, that you just want to play dating games. Like if that's your jam and you're like, man, I sure love being in a weird relationship dating game where I don't know what they're doing. And they don't know what I'm doing and we're manipulating each other. And like, that's a cool thing for you. That's fine. You might want to dive a little deeper into that pool and figure out what's going on. But if you love that, get after it, go enjoy yourself, but make sure that you do that with the express consent of that person, knowing that that's what you're doing to them. Because dating games are manipulation at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's manipulation of yourself and manipulation of them.
And we're not guilty of that.
We've definitely made those mistakes. I'm certainly not condemning.
What we learned is that I had a lot of personal things to sift through.
I'm not condemning anybody personally for bullshit with regards to dating, whether it's dating games, dating too much, cheating, whatever that is. I'm not condemning you, the people. I'm condemning the dating games. And do your best, I'm saying, not to do those things, because it was only when I stopped doing all that bullshit that I found this one, and she is pretty hot, and asked her to marry me. It's pretty exciting.
Well, I'm really glad.
That
we're married and stuff.
We are?
Yes.
Oh my God, I already did it.
Yes.
Forgetful. So sorry. Let's pop on through the rest of these. I have to say, bullying and body shaming is not cool and never okay. Be proud of who you are and what you look like. Absolutely. 100%. That's just some stupid bullshit. I do not get that.
Bullying is so weird. That's so funny though, because Chris Rock's special was he was like,
we happened really to watch funny. Blackout last night.
But bullies.
Yeah, he's talking about the necessity for bullies and, an ironic way of how much they teach us about life. But again, the irony being that we wouldn't need bullies if we didn't have bullies in real life as well as school, because he's talking about it in school.
Right.
But that's just, people can be pricks. Where are we at? Absolutely T. Hey, lovely. Sorry. Oh, hey, Claire. I'm busy with the poor doggy. Oh, I hope they're okay.
I'm sending you
by the way, my boyfriend is sorted out. Oh, we talked about that one. Waiting for a real life Christmas Hallmark movie to be my life. Hopeless romantic. I love it.
Christy, you better keep hoping, because he's going to come right in that door.
Come on now. These shows are fake. They're made for ratings. Yes, that's right, Chet. All right, Mel. When I first met my husband, the first thing we ever spoke about was women's problems. We've been together ever since with a 26-year age gap. People said we wouldn't last 14 years later. Hey, amazing. Whatever works. If you're happy.
It's just, finding that right person that you can communicate with.
I think that's the bottom.
Oh, is that it?
I think that's everybody.
Nice.
Yeah. 26-year age gap. That's interesting. I want to hear so much more about that.
I know.
We might have to do like a
like maybe do a
we'll
little
do
interview.
a private interview or something.
Yeah, that would be cool. There's a couple relationships that we've come across, like friends in age gap relationships, and you've been in one.
I've been in one. Yeah, I was with somebody who was 11 years older than me, and that
you have a specific opinion about it. Maybe we will.
I have a very specific opinion about my relationship with that person.
I
that was weird.
have a specific opinion about. I've never dated someone long term, but the dates that I have gone on with people in that larger age gap have never been quite successful. But I have an opinion about why.
Which is probably why people said that, Mel. But I'm really excited to hear 14 years later.
That's pretty impressive.
Some of your stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Claire, I'm my right person.
Yeah,
come on now. Yes,
woo!
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that is the most beautiful, perfect note to end on. I don't want to end, but I think that might be the best way. I love this. I love y'all.
Yeah, we love you guys. This is a fun one. I love you too. So coffee and tea next Tuesday. Hit me up if there's like something you really want to talk about.
Yeah. If there's something that you have on your minds that you want us to talk about, let us know. And also check out the refinery from last week. It was really, really good. That was a really, really fun episode. I'll throw the playlist up here. 51, bada boom. Just wait, what was our Thursday episode last week?
Our favorite romantic movies.
Our favorite romantic movies, or the movies that taught us the most about love. Check those out. I will link that here if I can. So many links to remember. Cool. Yeah. Go have a beautiful day. Love y'all.
Remember, and then we find the turn off button.
It's taking a second because I'm also over here reading Mel's comment.
Love you guys.
Hold on. Not yet. No. 26, he's 52, 40, 66 people told him I was a gold digger. Told me he was a dirty old man. I just gave him the ammo to prove him wrong. That's
baby.
amazing.
That's
okay.
talk more.
Love y'all. Bye.